What are you doing, honey? Where to put a raised bed garden. You have a backyard, you want a raised bed garden, but you don't know where to put it. Here's a couple tips. It's October 28th, 2017. We are later in the year, we're in fall here in Arizona. Because in the winter time, you actually want it to get full sun. So you want it to be exposed to the south for the winter. And then for the summer, you need it to be shaded from the top and the west. But the summer's a different story. So right now is what I'm talking about is in the winter time when you actually want full sun on your raised bed. I planted it right behind my house on the north side. Now this is the perfect spot for an outside patio because it's never ever gonna get sun really close to the house. And in the summertime, the shadow's actually it's right above the house. So I only get about a 2-foot shadow in the middle of the day right by my house. But in the wintertime, it's 4 o'clock right now, and the sun has already arced pretty far in the sky to where only a sliver of this bed is getting light. In the optimal time of the year for all of it to be getting light all day long. So one suggestion on a raised bed is to, if it's on the north side of your house for the winter, you want to push it away from your house a little bit. Make sure there's some south exposure to where when the sun arcs low in the sky, it's still going to be hitting your raised bed. Hope that makes sense. So if you're planting a raised bed on the south side, that's fine. You can plant as close to your house as you want, really, as far as microclimate is concerned, because the sun's gonna be south and it's gonna be hitting that the whole time. As long as you're not gonna have huge trees in front of it, that'll completely shade it out. That's why I like moringa trees too as your canopy tree, because you can completely cut it back in the wintertime and expose the whole south side. So this is not the optimal place on the north side of my house, this close to the house. And there's a calculation, I think it's height times 1.6. I could be a little bit off. But you measure how high this is and you multiply it by 1.6, and that is the distance of shadow that you're gonna get thrown on December 21st. So if this is, say, 10 foot, it's not, it's 8 foot. But say it was 10 foot tall, then that would be 16 feet away from the wall that it would be casting a shadow on December 21st. So, and I got some peaks here. So actually I got to go to the center height of the top to actually measure that height. And then that's the shadow that you get thrown. So basically it's going to cover this whole bed. It's not going to get really any direct sunlight all December. So just a thought, where to place your raised bed. Think about the shadow that it's going to get, the microclimate that you're putting it in. If you're going to hoop it in the summertime and cover it with shade cloth, or if you're going to put it underneath a moringa tree or some other kind of tree that grows really well as shade in the summertime. Because in the wintertime, you can cut that stuff back and give it more sun. Oh, speaking of that, I don't even know if I told you what that bed is. Maybe you could tell, but these guys would want full sun. That's moringas. So this is 300 moringas in a 9x5 bed. I did a dripper system and I'm gonna put that video out soon, but they're all doing really well. Let's see when I planted these guys. So I planted all these guys on September 27th, which is basically 1 month ago exactly. So I planted them 1 month ago, 300 moringas, and they've all sprouted. I mean, maybe I had a few not sprout, but it's looking pretty green down these rows. So I really just kind of want to test out the high density planting and see if it's going to provide a lot of harvest or if it's not. I mean, is it more, do you get more harvest off a single tree, or do you get more harvest off of a 300 bed moringa field? Because they are polite trees and they might produce more by being further spaced apart. These ones are literally 4 inches. No, not even. I mean, they're like right on top of each other. Let's see, put my finger between these guys. so 2 fingers. So they're pretty close. What are you doing? Walking in the moringa forest. She jumps on my moringas sometimes, and then there's some pretty big ones. Like these guys are coming in nice and big. So that is my little moringa high density forest. So it's a good experiment. We're gonna see how it works, but I drip it once a day and make it simple. There's a little spot right in the middle there that looks like it only sprouted 1 or 2, so missed a few right in there. But anyways, just keep that in mind. So this could take all the winter sun possible. So if I put this, you know, the thing is, once you start getting a canopy everywhere, there's a lot of places that get shaded, which is nice too. It's not too bad to have full, you know, this kind of shade. But if you really want to go a winter garden, you're gonna want to put it somewhere that gets all the sun it can in the wintertime. Wow, baby, what are you doing, honey? You're laying on them. Oh yeah, you just took a whole bunch of them out. But they are pretty resilient trees. Oh my gosh, my other kitty jumped up in my moringa, actually climbed the little trunk, and then started climbing the little branch that went really high up. It curved all the way over, and she hung on, like hanging on, and it curved all the way to the ground, and then she hung on until it got close to the ground and then jumped off. Actually, I have a little video of it. I'll show it to you real quick. What are you doing, baby? What are you doing, honey? Climbing the moringa tree? Jeez, that's why it's bent over. What are you doing? Oh man, she took it down. But then I just pushed it up and it just, it stayed pretty good. So they're resilient trees. It's very soft wood, so it's hard to kind of break them. If they're gonna come out of the ground, they're getting the root balls even gonna come with it, you know, so you just gotta kind of pull them back up. But they're really resilient, even though my cats jump on them. Totally fine. Anyways, all right guys, well, think about it, give it a good thought. The more you think about where you're gonna do stuff in your yard before you do it, think about your microclimate, how everything happens, you know, how the sun comes up, how it goes down, where is your natural shade, where does the water drain on your lot, where does it pool, all that kind of stuff. Good observations. They're gonna be very, very useful as you build your urban farm or just a garden. So until next time, guys, I love you. Give me a big green thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you can see this bad boy grow. All right, guys, till next time.